Welcome to the SyncroPatch 384 Data Analysis tutorial. First, open Data Control. This is the analysis software provided by Nanian Technologies. The data root file must be selected. Select File, Options, Data Files, and select the file of your choice. Seen on the lower left is a complete directory of all so-called rec files which contain experimental data. On this graphical user interface, several aspects of the home screen should be acknowledged. Firstly, the line of tabs in the upper left corner. Secondly, the data directory where all rec files are stored. The graphical array where all measurements from all cells are displayed at once. The control panel, which highlights a chosen recording and can be used to flick through each sweep of the recording. Several customization options are available. Lastly, a selection pane on the right, which simply shows pre-selected wells from the graphical array. Voltage clamp analysis. Select the desired rec file from the directory. Next, choose a suitable sweep number that will show you at a glance if the recording has been successful or not. In the tabs in the upper left corner, choose QC Selection. Here, select Start with Dialog on the pop-up box. Follow the prompts and click OK. This has now created an analyzer file. This must be saved immediately. It is automatically saved in the file connected with the data. Next, as a precautionary measure, switch back to the data browser. And again, back to QC Selection, open Analyze Data, and now you are ready to go with the new analyzer file. Firstly, again, select a reasonable sweep that will show you if a well has been successful or not. And now manual selection of each well must begin. This process can be automated. However, it is recommended to manually go through each well and select or reject wells of your choice. By clicking on the number on the top of each column, the entire column is selected and shown at the selection panel on the right. Here, one can get an overview of the entire column and if the wells have been successful. In order to disable a well, right-click it and select Disable Well, or simply hold down Ctrl or Command and left-click. The selection process is now sped up. Next, in order to assess the desired parameters, click the Edit Protocol box just above the directory. This shows an outline of the voltage protocol used in these experiments. If necessary, click Hide Gaps to get a more zoomed-in view. The purpose of this step is to acquire manual control over various cursors that can be placed over the voltage protocol at the area where the current is expected. The first cursor to measure peak current, in this case peak sodium current, is placed. For example, a second cursor can also be placed, here to measure the tail current. Please note that many parameters within these cursors are able to be measured. Here, the mean is selected. Any parameter can be added to suit the needs of analysis. Please note, one can also input a parameter such as seal resistance or capacitance, or a formula which combines multiple parameters within this edit protocol view. We don't need this for now. After clicking Recalculate, one can see the new cursors are added to the control panel view. In the upper left corner of the graphical array, there is an option to view the online analysis viewing function. Once this is clicked, you can see an overview of the change of your desired parameters during each sweep of the experiment. For example, this shows the change in capacitance during the experiment. The view can be switched between traces and online analysis also by simply clicking on the title here. In the next step, click the CRC Results tab. Select Use Leak Corrected Data and move on to the last tab. Here, more tabs are presented. Please select the final tab on the right. This shows you an overview of all selected parameters and their numerical values. At the top, you will notice several values including your chosen cursor parameters. Please note that each parameter is shown once for each sweep. Each row consists of a chosen well. Select Just Display Valid Wells to only show your wells of interest. To tidy these tables up and remove unwanted parameters, please click the Export option and Customize Tables. By clicking on the Well Information tab and selecting the Valid QC option, you can remove it from the specified window. Under the Sweep Result Block tab, you can also remove further parameters that are not directly of interest. The last tab does not require attention. Once it is customized, the table can be copied to clipboard and copy-pasted into a spreadsheet program. It is recommended to make several workbooks, each displaying the same wells from the same plate, however with different parameters. For example, also in the Customize Table option, capacitance is selected. This is also copied to clipboard and copy-pasted into the Excel workbook. This makes further analysis easier as Excel formulas can easily be applied. The OA data block refers to all selected parameters within your Edit Protocol pop-up window. If we go back to this window, we can remove any parameters that are no longer needed. With only one parameter selected in the online analysis, this can make the table easier to read and easier to use for further Excel-related activities. Here, only the peak current results are pasted into the workbook. It is recommended to always report electrophysiological currents as current density. This requires the peak current with the unit amps to be divided with the capacitance with the unit farads. This can be done easily in Excel. Current clamp analysis. The analysis overview for action potentials progresses much the same as that for voltage clamp. First, under QC selection, an analyzer file must be saved. It must then be reopened by going into the data browser and subsequently back into QC selection, where the appropriate file can be selected. Upon manual well selection, it is also possible to manually disable the entire array. This is recommended if there are only few wells which contain appropriate results. Then, using the same process as outlined in the voltage clamp section, appropriate wells can be screened and selected, either by right-clicking and select Enable or by holding down Control and left-clicking. Here, the process is sped up. On the Edit Protocol pop-up window, one can see a variety of parameters have already been pre-selected. No customization is necessary here, except if you are interested to look at action potential duration at various percentages of repolarization. This can be manually adjusted in this window. The AP search parameter is pre-programmed, and this measures any deviation from the starting voltage. For example, when threshold is reached. Using a VI protocol such as this, in which iterative current injections are applied to the cell, at some point, action potential threshold is expected to be reached. At such a time, an enormous increase in action potential amplitude will occur. When this is selected in the online analysis view, this presents as a steep increase in action potential amplitude, followed by a plateau. This can also be used to scan the graphical array to see if any appropriate wells should also be included. This process is now sped up. The remaining process progresses exactly the same. Please select to use leak-corrected data, and now all parameters are shown in the results section. Please remember to only display valid wells and copy to clipboard. Customization can be further made in the Edit Protocol pop-up box. If there are any questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch.